Hi, welcome. Glad you could join me. At a gym I go to, they have a sign in the change room that says, "You don't have to work out, you want to work out." And I love that reminder because it brings back to me that I want to do this. This is something I enjoy doing and I want to be here. So I want to say that I'm honored that you decided to be with me today to do this workout, and I hope you really enjoy it. I hope you have lots of fun doing it and you feel great afterwards. Before I continue, I want to introduce myself. I'm Coach Guy. I'm a certified personal trainer and I focus on training baby boomers. You'll notice that this is an intermediate workout. And you may be asking yourself, what does that mean? And how is it different than the beginner's workout? First, the intermediate workout requires a little bit more strength, especially in the legs, for some of the exercises I'll be introducing. Secondly, the cues for the exercises will go a little faster. So I won't be as detailed and as elaborate on the movements and how exactly to position yourself, because I'm assuming you're kind of familiar with the gym and the movements and the cues that I'm referring to. Now, this, even though it's intermediate, you could still do this workout as a beginner, but I would recommend that you go slower. Be very careful on exercises you've never done before. For those exercises, go slower, go lighter, and do less repetitions. Make yourself familiar with it before you really challenge yourself with those movements. For this workout, you're going to need bands, dumbbells, one medicine ball, and a bench or a stability ball for some of the movements we'll do lying on your back. Now, a word of caution. Always put safety first. Before you start the training, make sure that your area is clear. There's nothing around that you can trip on, nothing that you could hit while you're moving and hurt yourself. You're my client in this video. With all my clients, that's my rule number one, is safety. If you get hurt, you can be weeks or months without being able to train. If you go a little lighter instead and step back and be careful, you will get to work out very soon again, in a day or two or whenever you choose to. But that's your choice. So please be safe, be careful. Also, when you're doing a movement, if you feel any pain, please stop. If you want, put the comments below and I'll be happy to give some tips and hopefully which will make a difference to help or reduce the pain or find a variation that will do the same thing but not hurt. But really important, any pain, stop what you're doing. It's a message from your body telling you it's not liking it. Enough talking. It's time to crush it. Let's get started with your dynamic stretching to get you ready for this workout. We're going to start from the neck and work our way down. Head up and down, nice and slow, or medium speed, I should say. 5 times. Now here we're going to go wall to wall. I'm not forcing the range of motion. I'm just letting my head go as far as it's comfortable going. And then ear to shoulder. Okay, traps, just shrugging up and down. 5 times. And then big arm circles. I want you to try to touch at the top as soon as you can. So you're really going through that full range. 4 and 5, and then same thing backwards. I'm holding and touching my fingers as long as I can, and then letting them separate at the end. 4 and 5. The next one we're going to give a hug and touch behind. So I'm hugging myself and then touching my hands behind my back, and I'm alternating which hand goes on top. This one I'm doing 8 times. Nice. That's for the upper body. That's good enough. Then we're going to go knee to chest, alternating 5 times. Now with this dynamic warm-up, if you need more, please pause the video and do a few more stretches and then come back to it. Here we go. Next, you're going to grab your foot, and pull up. And 5. Next one is complicated, a little complicated. Few movements all combined together, but it's a quad stretch. So this would be the first movement, but then you're going to reach up and go on your toes. If going on the toes is too tricky, just grab and reach up. And if that's too tricky, just grab the foot and stretch the quads. 4 and 5. Last one, we call the airplane. You're gonna go on one leg. You're engaging the core as you do the movement, working your balance, and it's stretching the hamstring of the leg that's on the foot that stays on the floor. I think 3, 4, and 5. Here we go. So that's the dynamic part. Next, we're going to do a static stretch. You're going to find a piece, something on probably the wall, best bet, and you're going to bring your heel as close as possible to that wall, and then you're going to come up a little bit. And you're going to stretch your calves. So we're going to do 20 seconds each leg. The reason I do the calf stretch, is because as we get older, we lose what's called dorsiflexion, which is bringing the toes towards you. And with a loss of dorsiflexion, we lose our mobility or flexibility when we're walking. So it gets a little stiff. So by doing this stretch, I'm trying to keep my calf stretched, my ankle mobile, and so that my gait can stay nice and fluid as you age. In 20 seconds, it's on the short side. Efficiency, if you want, you can definitely hold up to 1 minute each side. All right. Third thing we're going to do is a little balance exercise. I'm going to use this med ball here, but you use anything. It doesn't have to be a med ball. You can use a kettlebell, a jug, anything that's kind of stationary. And we're going to do toe taps. So we're going to do 20 toe taps. Easy way is that I'm just going nice and slow. And then I'm going faster. There we go, and 20. So we've touched on stretching, a little bit of mobility and balance. So we've touched on the things that are important as we age. Now let's get the strength portion going. Our first 3 movements: crossover lunge, one arm shoulder press with a dumbbell, and a band kneeling lat pull down. Depending on your setup at home, you may do it standing up and hinging at the hips, but you need to attach the band to something high. So let's start with that. For me, I'm going to do it in my squat rack. Sorry guys. And I'm going to give it a double loop so that I have enough tension when I do the movement. So I got my band, and I'll need a dumbbell for the shoulder press. Myself, I'm going to grab a 20. And then for the crossover lunge, I'm going to use 10s. But if you're new to the crossover lunge, or if your knees are so-so, please be very careful and maybe start with body weight and even maybe with a partial range of motion. So let's get going. We're going to do all 3 movements, take a break, and repeat 3 times. The crossover lunge, we're going to do 8 reps. We're going to do stepping back with the right. So I'm working my left leg first. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to stay upright. Shoulder blades are back, so I have good posture. And that's 8. Other side. here. One arm shoulder press. I like to use a staggered stance. I'm going to start with the left. So right leg in front and press overhead. This one, 10 repetitions. And when I'm doing this, squeezing my left glute, it's protecting my back, abs are engaged, and at the top, bicep by my ear. I think 8, 9, 10, and switch. Okay, next, lat pull down. So for me, I'm going to go down on my knees, even sit on my heels. Now I want to make a straight line as much as possible with my torso and the band, so it really feels like a lat pull down. I'm going to focus on contracting my upper back at the top portion. I'm going to go for 15 reps. And then I'm going slowly on the way back. I'm not letting the band just pull my hands back. I'm controlling that band. Breathe out and then breathe in. And 15. We're going to take a 30-second break. If you need to, have some water. I'm going to go right back with the crossover lunge. In that 30-second, talking about breathing, that's a question I'm asked all the time. And the trick is, when you're exerting effort, you want to exhale. And then when you're relaxing or letting the weight take you back, that is gravity, taking the weight back down, in this instance, the bend pulling my hands up, then I inhale. It's not 100% all the time, but as a generic rule, it will apply. So let's go back. Let's go again with the crossover lunge, stepping back with the right. Doing a crossover, it puts a little bit more emphasis on the glutes. The whole leg is still doing the work, but a little bit more glutes involved in this one. And the glutes are your butt muscles, just in case. So we're doing 8 reps. Good stuff. Shoulder press. Left hand first, right leg in front. And 10, switch side. And our lat pull down for 15. At your home, as long as you have a place to hook it up nice and high, could be the door frame, that will do a great job. When I'm doing my lat pull down, I'm keeping my head in a neutral position. So my whole spine is neutral. I think 14 and 15. All right, 30-second break. I hope you're feeling okay. Myself, I'm starting to sweat, so definitely feeling this one. I would say drink before the workout, maybe half hour or so before, start drinking water, continue sipping in between each set. And then after the workout, again, you should drink. And let's go for it. Crossover lunge, right leg behind. For 8 reps. And the other leg. Excellent. Shoulder press for 10. Right leg in front. Squeeze the glutes. Protects your lower back. Good stuff. Last one, that pull down. All right, so now I'm going to take a full minute break. I'm going to take a small pause as well, get my next 3 exercises ready. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, now the next 3 exercises. Our first one is going to be an incline dumbbell bench press. If you don't have a bench at home, it's okay. If you don't have an incline bench, it's okay. You can do flat bench, you can do this on the stability ball, or if you don't have neither, you can always do them on the floor, okay, which would be called a floor press. So I got my 20 pounds here on the floor, that's what I'll be using. My second movement is going to be a sumo squat. Sumo squat is a wider stance. It doesn't have to be extremely wide, but it's wider than my normal squatting stance. And then I'm going to hold the weight here, so it's going to be a goblet sumo squat. And I'm going to go as low as I can and then back up. And that's going to be for 12 reps. So 8 reps on the bench, 12 reps on the squats, and then lastly we're going to do a bent over dumbbell rows, palms facing away, so supinated grip, and that's going to be for 8 reps as well. So we're working the chest, legs, and the back. So let's get going. So 8 reps on the bench. And 8. Excellent. Next, my sumo squat. A bit of wide stance. On the sumo squat, the feet are pointing out a little bit, but not too much. Two more, so 11 and 12. Good. I'm using the same weight for the rows. This is up to you, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Now when I do my bent over rows, I start with a wide stance, push the hips back, so I have a neutral spine, and I'm bending at the hips. And from here I bring the weight up to my abs. Palms are facing away to be in a supinated position. Here we go. We're going to take 30 seconds, have a sip of water. We're going to repeat this one more time. So only 2 sets for this movement. I hope you're feeling okay. If you need a longer break, take it. It's not a race. It's about you feeling better than when you started this workout. 10 more seconds. So we're going to get ready. I'm going to pick up my weights. All right, let's get this show started. Okay, sumo squat. Now for the sumo squat, if you don't want to, don't use any weights. 12 reps can be a lot of repetitions, depending on your leg strength. One more. Good stuff. Bent over rows. There you have it, our 2 sets. Now, if you feel good and you want to do more, you can feel free to do a 3rd or even a 4th set. I'm going to stop the video, get the next movements ready, which will be a finale, and I'll be right back. All right, now, final piece of the workout. I hope you're feeling great, that you're getting a little bit of a sweat, feeling warm, but not too much, right? You don't want to be too tired at this point. For abs, or I should say core exercises, we're going to do 2 movements. Both are going to be 8 repetitions. They're both rotational movements that teach you or reinforce proper mechanics when bending down or twisting. Our first movement is going to do with the med ball. It's called a med ball lift. I'm going to go from my right foot, bring the ball to center, rotate, and punch it 45 degrees overhead. And I'll do 8 repetitions and then switch side. It's important you bring the weight to the center of the body before rotating. So I hinge at the hips, neutral spine, bring it in, and punch up. When I'm bending down, belly button to the spine, tight stomach. 3, 5. You don't have to go fast either. I think 7, one more, and 8. Back to center. Now I go to my left foot. Seven and 8. Excellent. From here, I attach the band up here on my rack. For you at home, it'd probably be top of a door frame. And then with the handle, outside hand grabs the handle, inside hand comes over. I'm going to put myself so that I'm perpendicular to my band. I'm looking at it. I pull it into the chest, rotate without moving the feet, and punch down. So this is a high to low wood chop. Bring it to the center, rotate, punch. And we're going to do 8 reps. I'm at 5, I believe. 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to flip around. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm going to try not to get my back. All right. I think 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. Small break, 30 seconds. And then we're going to go right back into it with a med ball lift. We're doing this a second set, and then we're done. Now, core. I often talk about core with my clients in the studio. And to me, core is anything below chest to anything below glutes. And all around. So it includes my abs, my obliques, my low back, my glutes, and all that stabilizes my spine. That's the idea. So when I do a bending movement, I make sure that I hinge at the hips and that I keep a neutral spine. I'm not rounding my back. If I round my back, I'm not using proper mechanics to bend, and this will most likely lead to injuries in the future. So let's pick up our med ball, centered position, and right foot to left overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Back to center, and left foot, right to right side. 2, 3, remember belly button to the spine. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. Now, last movement, our band woodchop. Outside hand grabs, other hand on top. Looking at it, pull it in, rotate, and punch it. And I'm looking in the direction that I'm going. 5, 6, 7, and 8. You'll just do a 180. I'll come over here so you don't just look at my back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right. There you have it, your intermediate workout. Now, after you're done, by the way, if you want to do more than 2 sets of the core work, please go ahead. But after you're done your training, please make sure and take about 5 minutes to do static stretching. I'm not going to do it in this video, but basically you want to stretch for at least 20 seconds to a minute each muscle group, from hamstrings to the quads, to the chest, to your back. And just take your time, breathe, relax. You can also stretch the glutes. And that's making me realize I will make a video on just static stretching so you can see and we can stretch together and do it. But for now, do it on your own. I hope you enjoyed this workout. And if you did, please comment below. We'll really appreciate it. Also, please give me a like. They help with the YouTube algorithm, and hopefully will make the video visible to more people out there. So have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. And please come and join me again in my other videos for some home workouts. Take care.